Hello. Why do people keep repeating things? Why do people sometimes say the same thing over and over again? Well, it seems to be a very successful rhetorical device. I saw recently a political analyst claim that Donald Trump's success has a lot to do with the way he simply repeats things over and over again, and that has been shown in the psychological experiments and the like to be an effective way of convincing people of what you're saying. Now, it's quite a drop from Trump's rhetoric to the weekly Parsha, but we have to keep in mind that the Torah, even though it is a divine book given by God, but it is speaking to people, and its aim is to convince people to do the right thing, to stop doing the wrong thing, and to change some deeply ingrained habits and some very deep and powerful human urges. And for those reasons, the Torah has to employ some of the rhetorical devices that are successful and efficient when communicating with people. Now, how does this bring me to this week's Parsha? At the second part of the latter half, less than half actually, of Parshat Shmini, deals with dietary laws, the restrictions that the Torah places on what animals and fish and birds the Jews can consume. And in the newly published book of Rabbi Soloveitchik's commentary on the Torah, wonderful series, Chumash Mesoret Harav, the volume on Vayikra just came out a short while ago. The Rav addresses this point exactly. He points out that the Torah has only one verse really that talks about prayer, and yet has quite a bit about dietary restrictions in our Parsha and in Parshat Re'eh and elsewhere. And he points out that this has to do with the fact that there's such deeply ingrained resistance on the part of people, or as he would emphasize, modern man, to these restrictions. People are willing and happy to participate in services and to sing hymns, to take part in rituals, but when it comes to telling them what to do, what to eat, and what not to eat, that's where some people start to drag their heels and don't like it a bit. We don't like having being told what to do, especially when it concerns our material life and our bodies. And for that reason, the Torah has to give so much space and go to such length to instill in us these dietary laws. But Judaism teaches that there can really be no spiritual elevation without first disciplining the body. And for that reason, maybe among others, the Torah gives us or spends so much time and space trying to instill in us these very important dietary rules. He goes on and makes another point, with which I will conclude, and which we'll see how people react, that the Jewish people have survived for close to 2,000 years without the Beit HaMikdash, without animal sacrifices. However, the Beit HaMikdash is important to us, and however deeply and sincerely we pray for its rebuilding, still we've managed to maintain our communal identity in very difficult circumstances for thousands of years. But the Rav says, if Jews stop observing Kashrut, if Jews would stop, or those Jews who unfortunately do stop, then the path to assimilation and losing Jewish identity is unfortunately short and swift. So let's all make an extra effort, redouble our efforts to observe as pictures as perfectly and as closely as we can the laws that the Torah has given to us, restricting, limiting our food intake and our uh, carnal lives. Thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom.